race still very undecided.
The bottom lane just doesn't have enough cars now. The rules have been reversed.
They're running out of time and they know it.
How about Noah Mikulski in the L3? He did his hand in this battle. The bottom surges to the inside. Now pulls even with Hutton off in turn number 2.
900 horsepower at their feet.
Banks doesn't have a push. Hutton, can he do it off of turn 4? Right, giving him another push. They stack him to the outside. And the line, checkered flag, big surges to the bottom.
And here comes Milo, big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out to 37.
Oh!
The Milo gets burned!
Cabot, where did he come from?
Here
comes Zwack.
A push from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it at Auto Club.
Saturday Night Racing League live here on V-Speed, the first race of the season championship chase. And I'm alongside here tonight with my co-commentator Alec Martinez. We have a little substitution this week, but there's going to be no substitution for the action out here on the racetrack. So to bring you your grid here tonight, let's get it up there on the screen. Alec, take it away.
Yes, sir. On the grid, good to be back with you. Hope Connor's doing all right. Just moving into his place, so I appreciate you having me here tonight. Adam Cabot rolls off on your pole. The Magic Man here in the chase. Gonna start off nice here with first here with a 30.314. Alex Bell will be starting off in second. Row number 2 has the 48 car Jeff Wright starting in third. And to his outside will be Mark Whitley in the 77. AJ Stravado rolls off 5th. Joseph McOrder rolls off 6th. Chad Klinger in row number 4 rolling off 7th. Joshua Banks up in 8th. Then in row number 5, Cairo Konovic will be rolling off in 9th. And Caleb Weekly rolls off in the top 10.
11th spot's going to belong to Ryan Carwile with Michael Sturgill in 12th. 13th will be Jonathan Cofield with Ray Massey in 14th. 15th position, Gary Smith with Max Koss in the 63 and 16th. 17th spot, Jonathan Cadell with Brandon Wallace 18th. Rounding out your top 20 here tonight, Eddie Trejo and Mark McFadden.
And that'll be your 20-car field, I believe. Here it's going to be
Chuck Sweeting actually out there.
Well, not 21st as well. Well, you know, just got here, 140 laps. These cars are going to be hauling the mail. We're going to be all over the racetrack, Bradley. I got to ask you, who's your pick?
Oh, you know what? Adam Cabot's been on fire. I'm going to take the 17.
I'm gonna go with right behind him in row number 2. Jeff Wright in that 48 car. He's so good in these cars. Chicagoland, he says he loves it. And I think that love's going to get even stronger here tonight when he crosses the line first.
All right, well, let's find out. Here we go, getting ready to go racing here tonight. Live from Chicagoland, it's Saturday Night Racing League. Number 1, it was Alex Bell. I saw Cabot come down out of the exit of 4, and I thought for sure he was going to lead that lap, but Bell was able to hang on to it. Now a battle on the outside. Gets a big run on out of 2 into the inside of Cabot. Is Bell back to fight for the lead? Side by side out of 1, and Jeff Wright is just all over him too. A lot of good racing going on.
Yeah, this is great racing. Cabot was able to cross Bell over into turns 1 and 2, got the lead back into 3 and 4. Now Jeff Wright pressuring the 15 of Bell as well. Now it looks like Adam Cabot has opened up to about a car length lead. They pulled about almost a second over AJ Stravado. Then Banks getting by Mark Whitley for 5th. Whitley, Klinger, then McCorder, Konovich, and Weekly, your top 10. But side by side for the 10th position, Weekly and Sturgill, and don't count out Jonathan Cofield, 58. Look at that, 3 wide. Cofield all the way to the apron. Now it's going to be careful here as this bottom lane with so much horsepower in these cars. These cars don't really want to hold it down there, but sometimes it works going the shorter distance around. But Cofield has to go now underneath the 13 of Weekly. You see that back end get a little squirrely on him. Weekly now prevailing for that momentum on the outside as Sturgill was able to clear both of them. But up at the top 3, Jeff Wright getting by Alex Bell for 2nd, and now that moves. He'll set his eyes on to Adam Cabot for the lead.
Bell looked really strong in this very, very short amount of time, but it looked like the tires are scrubbing off quick here. These guys pulling out that far trying to chase Cabot, they might be burning their stuff up, and it's only going to be a matter of time before Stravado and Joshua Banks catch up to these boys.
Yeah, and these cars, I'm sure it's been the highlight of the season, 950 horsepower. These cars sliding the rear ends around, a lot of power, a lot to finesse with the throttle, and you got to be so careful, especially at a track like Chicagoland where we know and it's famous for wearing the tires out. These Goodyear Racing Eagles wear out a ton here, but the best thing about this track is we'll take a 3-wide battle from 9th now. It looks like Weekly backs out of it. But look at the usage of lines, different lines from bottom to top. You're going to see these guys utilize different lines all night, and that's going to be something big when it comes to using track position as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing as this race progresses, the more rubber that gets laid down on this racetrack, and the more the tires fall off, the more competitive this race is going to be as the battle for the lead. Jeff Wright now underneath Adam Cabot.
Riding on board there with Caleb Weekly, who struggled a little bit last week. Looks like he's doing a little bit better this time around. But now a battle for the lead. Jeff Wright trying to get to the inside of Adam Cabot and get the pass completed. It almost takes a slide job, and you see the pinch there by Cabot to keep Jeff from getting that run.
Yeah, he is, but now this is the line. Alex Bell to close up Cabot, the Atlas Chevrolet on the outside, Wright, the Lowe's 48 on the inside, then followed by the Camry of Alex Bell and the Cool Strangers Toyota Camry. He's closing up, and it seems so far they've kind of equalized this gap, but on board with Bell. Look at that run he carries up off the top. Now the 15 down to the inside, gonna have to hook those left sides on that white line. Just misses the line a little bit. Might affect his exit speed as Wright sure gonna run on the outside lane. Now Cabot can play with the lines. Who's he gonna give some draft to help maybe use these guys to bring their tires off a little bit more, as now Wright goes down to the inside, Cabot back up to the outside. Or excuse me, Bell.
Just back and forth, they're playing defense, and you give that guy some dirty air, You know, you saw Jeff after he got passed back by Cabot on the outside. He went immediately to the outside down the backstretch, so Bell couldn't get to the outside. So these guys are going to just kind of domino back and forth. Cabot's not going to pull away from Jeff Wright. I can tell you that right now.
Yes, this battle is going to probably go on this entire time throughout this run. And I'll tell you who's loving these guys battling each other is AJ Stravato, Joshua Banks. They're all burning their tires off. And I'm looking at these front three here. They are slipping and sliding around. And we're only 10 laps into a 140-lap race. And especially with these cars, you're going to probably want to go 35, 40 laps on a run of tires. So you got to be easy with them. But I'll tell you what, these top three are really going at it. Now Jeff Wright, he's looking back to get by Adam Cabot here as these two now on side by side for the lead.
It's going to be a little bit easier. I think Jeff got the good run out of 4.
Cabot's going to slide up the track.
Back it up.
Oh, that was a beautiful move from Wright there. Backed up the corner, let Cabot slide up, and now the crossover move from Jeff Wright in the 48 car.
He's going to have to drive it deep into 3 here if he's going to complete it. He's going to do the same thing. He's going to do the same thing Cabot did, and I think Cabot's going to cross him over.
Yes, he is, but Cabot now gets the left rear, or gets to his left rear. Now Cabot looking for the lead. Don't count on Alex Bell in the 15. Bell now looks down the inside. Look at this, Chicagoland at its finest, right almost up on the outside wall. Look at that, Kyle Larson style around the outside wall. Wright keeps the lead, Cabot keeps second, Bell keeps third, and now single file throughout the top 3. But don't look now, here comes AJ Stravato closing in on these 3.
Catching up to him slowly, and they keep racing 3 wide like that. It's going to just be another lap or 2 before he's at their back bumper.
Yeah, you're right. It might only be a matter of time. We still got a long way to go in this race and a long way to go in this run of fire. And I'm loving to see these guys slip and slide around. Oh, Cabot up into the outside wall. Cabot taps to there with the right rear, but he is still able to keep the momentum going. But now he'll dive to the inside of Wright right now. Gonna have to pinch him off the corner. Cabot sideways. Look at that rear end sliding around. Now Bell gonna close in closer. Cabot down to the inside line, into the inside lane. Won't lead the lap, but he'll pull even now with Wright.
On board here with the 17, and I tell you what, all 3 of these guys put on a phenomenal show. And I think Stravato is ready to join the club. He's about 0.8 of a second back.
Here comes Alex Bell. Bell now down to the inside lane, hooking that white line. Gonna at least get to the left rear quarter panel of Cabot. No, he won't. Cabot clears back down, shuts the door on the 15. But Bell, apron, wow, what a save! And wow, how about that? A heck of a save there from the 15 of Alex Bell. Looks like he clipped the apron up, upset the balance of the 15 car.
Yeah, let's go on board here with the 15 car and show you what this looks like at 180 plus.
These cars don't like the transitions as much, and with how old these tires are getting, and possibly we know how Chicagoland, how old the surface is, they might not even be going full throttle after about 40 or 30 laps on this run. But this top 3, man, this is competitiveness right here. This is what you love to see out of these guys. Look at the top 3, all up in a lot on the outside. Cabot trying to get some clean air to the nose of that Atlas Chevrolet Impala. He'll look to the outside, and now Cabot just loose off the corner, but tucked up about half a car length off of Jeff Wright. Now Cabot pokes down to the inside lane. Wright gonna pinch him down to the bottom. They'll both slide up the racetrack. Should allow Alex Bell to get a run. Don't look now, Stravato and Banks closing in, and then you can't forget about Joseph McCorder and Chad Klinger. Jonathan Cofield about 0.8 of a second behind them. But these top 7 starting only separated by 2 seconds. Oh, Cabot almost up in the outside wall.
Bell's going to get the run now out of 4. And we see this action going on up front here, but there was a lot of passing going on for like 13th, 14th position. Gary Smith, these guys going on back here, the 97, the 81 side by side, just outside the top 10.
Yeah,
and Gary Smith. Started 15th. They're struggling a little bit back here.
Yeah, Ray Massey in the picture, the Virginia Tech Hookies there, if you so will. Go Hookies, if you so will. For the old, did I say that right? Oh, look at that, Gary goes up the track. Gary Smith, the rookie, I believe, making his first career start, gets up into the door of Ryan Carwell. Good save out of both of them. But man, oh man, that could have almost been a wreck. And how about Ray Massey being able to, that is the Virginia Tech Hookies as well. But yeah, Massey being very aware, having good racecraft backing out, and then you got behind them the 05 Goodrich car, Kanovich there in the 05, Jonathan Cadell. Good to see Steel Horse live here in this as well. And then it's Koss Sweeting all under a blanket here. This is from about 12th to about 7th, or actually I should say 18th.
Yeah, they're right on top of each other. And then you've got the 75 of Chuck Sweeting, who started the grid here in the last position. He's trying to pick up some spots. He's picked up 4 since the beginning of this race. But the traffic.
Yeah, and look at this back here. You can see, looks like Alex Bell has closed back up to Jeff Wright, cooled those tires down. Now he's able to kind of go at it. Looks like Cabot's starting to fade away just a little bit. Those rear tires a little upset. Joshua Banks able to get by Stravado for 4th. So Banks possibly starting to utilize those tires that he could have quite possibly saved. But now side by side for the lead between Alex Bell, Jeff Wright, then it goes Cabot, Banks, Stravado inside the top 5, separated by less than a second. And then about 1.2 seconds back is the 73 of Joseph McWhorter, then Chad Klinger in 7th. And then it's a little bit of ways back to Jonathan Cofield, Michael Sturgill, and Mark Whitley behind them. But this battle for the lead heating up. Once again, Bell looks out in line, but no, he'll go back. But now he uses the outside line, trying to use that Kyle Larson line, not exactly up on the wall, but using that outside lane.
He's loose.
Oh, man, look at that, wheeling and dealing.
They are very loose coming off the exit of 4. I've seen these guys a number of times coming off of their, that right rear is going to tag the wall if they get too close to it. I think that's why these guys are shying away from the wall in 4.
Now they're going to get up on it as well later in this race as Banks now losing, or excuse me, Bell losing a little bit of momentum there. Now it's going to allow Cabot to go down to the inside. Cabot sends it up on underneath the 15 car. Exactly what Jeff Wright wants to see. But now Bell's going to utilize that top lane. Cabot gets loose, loses the side force, and Bell shuts the door. Then behind them, Stravado and Banks going back at it. Stravado now peeks down to the inside lane, trying to get by Banks. Won't be able to do it. Oh, maybe he will. Banks lets him go. A courteous move from Joshua Banks, allowing Stravado to get back around. But then up ahead of them, Bell, Cabot, and Wright still battling. And as well, I saw Mark McFadden. How about him? Turned 75 yesterday, so happy late birthday to Mark McFadden. So we'll wish him a happy birthday here up from the booth. But man, great racing all around here. The Chicagoland Speedway never fails to disappoint us. There's Mark McFadden running in 21st here so far tonight. Good to have him. 75, big 75. That's good to see. 75 years young, and he's out here racing and having fun here on Saturday night with the Saturday Night Racing League. But this top three is also, let me tell you, that's something fun to watch. That's awesome. This is the racing we love and have always come to know here for Chicagoland Speedway. Don't know why NASCAR ever left here, but man, this is showing why we need to bring them back here. Top 3 under a blanket, and it's about to be the top 7 with how close these top from 4th all the way back to 7th is catching.
And Alex Bell now diving to the bottom to try to take away this lead for the, I would say, what, the 5th lead change we've had in the first 25 laps?
I mean, yeah, we've had a lot of lead changes so far, at least in the middle of the corner.
There's only 2.
Yeah, and that's just at the line, let alone all over the racetrack. There's been a couple switcheroos, crossover moves, but right now I'm noticing, man, Bell, Cabot, and Wright, man, they're sliding the back end out more than I've seen Stravado, Banks, McWhorter, and Klinger do. And these guys are really, and look at the usage of the racing line. Look at that, all over the racetrack. There's nothing better. You got right on the wall, and then you got Bell running, gets some cleaner on the nose. Then you got Cabot running up by the wall. Then you got Stravado all by himself on the bottom. And it's just, man, that's why I love this track. It's so cool. The aging of this track, man, it's just the racing it puts on is second to none. And I'll tell you what, though, these guys are just slipping and sliding around. And the real question is, what are these guys going to pick? I feel like if you want to say the overcut is probably going to be pretty strong here, because I'm noticing about 2 seconds of fall off already. Oof.
Yeah, about 30 seconds, 30.5 across the board there. Banks side by side. You saw Banks let Stravado in front of him. I think you could call that saving tires, because Banks has been very patient. He's sat back, watched these leaders use up their stuff, and I think it's just another maybe 10 laps before he gets up there and tries to take the lead away.
I think 100%, there's without a question in my mind that he can go out and do that. And back here, you got Stravado, Yeah, Banks on the outside, then McWhorter and Klinger have kind of caught up a little bit.
Yeah, they're right there. I mean, they're
three.
side by side. All the way back to the top 10. You got Cofield back here. These guys haven't lost too much. They're about 3 seconds back. And if we have green flag pit stops, that's easily doable to make up that time on pit road.
Yeah, 100%. I think these guys are doing a phenomenal job being able to, keep these cars
Clutching it.
Yeah, under, what's the word? I guess under control, and then still pushing as hard as they can go. But this top two starting to heat up once again. Cabot now pressuring Bell down to the inside lane. Cabot going to have to do the slide job maybe. Bell up on the outside lane. Cabot on the inside lane. Cabot clears the 15th for second. The 15 ain't going to give it up yet. Now Bell back down to the inside. Crossover for the 15 of Bell. Bell, will he try the slide job into turn number 1? No, Cabot's going to pinch him down. It's going to beat Bell really tight, losing that side force. And Cabot gets the position. Bell back to third. And now that's allowed Jeff Wright to pull out about a half a second.
Yeah, Wright's now at 0.5. And I tell you what, he's loving what he sees in his mirror. I don't know that these tires, though.
Cabot.
I don't know if he wants to see Cabot, but he wants to see him race side by side.
Behind them. Klinger and McWhorter coming in. This is going to be interesting, and this should maybe, and I would 100% think, is going to start the pit cycle a little bit earlier than I thought. But two interesting strategies again. First round of the chase, so you're going to have to be willing to get more aggressive if you think you can't get it up on points here, as Klinger and McWhorter make it in quite solidly into their box. Should be interesting. And I know Klinger, who's third in points, trailing by about 22, trying to do something a little bit different from Jeff Wright, who has such a big points lead, as Wright, Cabot, Bell, Banks, and Travato stay out. A couple more bringing it in. Ray Massey is in. Tyrell Konovich is in. Michael Sturgill in pit road. Kost is also down pit road, and we'll be able to see the difference of lap times here within the next minute or so, as Wright in the top 5 continue to stay out. Now Alex Bell comes in trying to undercut Wright and Cabot, and he'll get it to pit lane speed at 45 miles an hour. Caution right now would most certainly trap some of these guys a lap down, and I would have to assume with Bell coming in might force the hand of Cabot and Wright to come in.
Bell down pit road, the 13 of Caleb Weekly, the 75 of Chuck Sweeting. Gary Smith also down pit road. Chad Klinger back out on the racetrack. He was the first with Joseph McWhorter to come down pit road.
Here comes Wright, and here comes Cabot hot onto the brakes there. Both seem to make it. Cabot. Yeah, Cabot's in well. Banks, Whitley as well in. Cadell, hard onto the brakes. I don't know if Cadell made it.
Gonna be tight. I mean, these guys have been locking it up.
And right now, Klinger. He missed his
stall.
That's not good. That's going to cost him a little bit of time. And that last lap, Wright turned a 32.6. Chad Klinger a 31.2. So now, from what I could tell, as Wright just gets service done and finish, Klinger and McWhorter will take the lead of the race. How much will they get the lead by is the question. Jeff Wright, a 14.4 second pit stop. Cabot, 14.5. So much quicker pit stops for McWhorter and Chad Klinger, but Wright going to pull out a second. Here comes Alex Bell. Bell just didn't seem to have a great pit stop entry, and that costed him just enough time to where he's not going to be able to get by Jeff Wright.
So cycling back around here, Joseph McWhorter going to take over the lead.
Klinger's going to get the lead. McWhorter's going to be in second.
Okay. There's the 09. He's kind of snuck through with timing and scoring there. So Klinger, new leader here, and they are a solid 3.5 seconds ahead of Jeff Wright. But that lead is dwindling down quickly.
That's very interesting. I like the strategy. It's another way to cut it up here. And we'll look at tonight, from what I can tell, we got 6 sets of tires in the pits. So 5, actually, I should say, in the pits. So you could split, from what I can tell, if you're going to go 30, laps. I mean, you might have to go longer on this one, but I think you might be splitting this into fourths.
I think 4 stops would probably suffice,
Yeah.
and you'd have an extra set if we have a caution to come down and hop
I mean,
off with a little
thirds is
fuel.
what I would expect most of these guys to do, but with the strategy that Klinger and McWhorter are trying to play here, I mean, I think they're going to be splitting it into either in thirds or fourths here. We'll see as the strategy more tends to play out, because by lap 60, they'd bring it in, then 90, and then once again at 120, realistically do that, have a shorter run to the end, but I don't know if we're going to see anybody do that. I mean, that's quite a risky strategy.
And then,
We'll see,
Alex, you've seen a little bit of the SNR this season. You got to do race
Yeah.
number 1, and you've checked in from time to time. How many races have you seen Chad Klinger get away from him? He'll be leading in the last 20 laps since something happened to him.
Yeah, I've seen Klinger. I want to say, was it Richmond where he closed out and won? But yeah, no, I've seen Chad be the leader a few times, beating Jeff Wright. And I was like, oh, finally, somebody's taking it up to Wright, because Wright, in a lot of the leagues we broadcast, Jeff Wright is the guy to beat, guy to go through. But, and that's what's good about this league and a lot of other leagues, is the competitiveness that is within them. But when you have that competitiveness, you also want to win one of these things. It takes a lot, and
Yep.
you
Concentration.
got to be so perfect to win one of these races. You got to be confident. You got to be perfect. Execution really is the name of the game. If you can execute your races well, while putting yourself up within the top 5, executing your race from start to finish, that's going to be how you're winning. That's how you win these competitive series races. That's the way I could put it. From a lot of the sim racing that I've done in competitive leagues like BTDY, and I've raced with a lot of these guys in VRL as well. They're so competitive. They're so good. And sometimes there's certain weeks, man, when they hit it, and they're the guy to beat.
These mile and a half tracks really fit in the wheelhouse of the 48, but here is Chad Klinger leading his 4th lap, 5th lap, now coming up for the 6th one. Looking good out there for the 09.
And nothing too bad here. Second place is about to heat up here. Jeff Wright, fresher tires by 3 laps, I should say. Joseph McWhorter is under pressure from Jeff Wright. McWhorter down to the inside. Look at those fresh tires work up to the outside with Jeff Wright trying to get second away. Going to be tight, but Wright should have no problem getting by. Jeff Wright clears the 73. And is now looking at the 09 here, that Sherwin-Williams Chevrolet, about a second up the road.
Well, exactly 1 second, and Chad Klinger looks in his mirror and his relative sees the 48. He's going to try to lead about 2 or 3 more before Jeff Wright catches up to him. That lead dwindling down about 0.2 a lap.
Yes, he is, and we heard last week when we interviewed Jeff Wright in BTDY, the other league he runs and the other league that runs Gen 4. Jeff loves this car, and I remember him saying, because BTDY, just a little plug there as well. We'll be racing Tuesday here at Chicagoland in the next gen car. But Jeff has always said it. I've known Jeff for a couple years now. He's always said how much he absolutely loves Chicagoland. It's probably his favorite mile and a half that they come to. And he talks about how much he loves this track and how much he loves to race it, and he feels like the track's been pretty good to him. And to me, when I hear that out of somebody like Jeff Wright, that scares me. And that, to me, would scare the field. And if I'm in the field, that would scare me. Because giving Jeff Wright confidence in a car and a track that we know he's good in is not the greatest competition. It's not the greatest message for the field to hear, because we know how good Jeff Wright is. When he's on, man, he's borderline unbeatable.
He's not out of the woods yet, though. We've got Adam Cabot back here in the 4th position, starting to shave away these leaders as well. He's catching up to Joseph McWhorter as they come down the backstretch. Alex Bell, who was in the picture of the 3-way battle for the lead earlier, he's about 3 seconds back.
Yeah.
0.7 off from Cabot, but he's got Joshua Banks here.
We got a good battle outside the top 10. Ryan Carwile, Caleb Weekly, and Jonathan Cofield are all going at it here, back from about the 11th position, as Jeff Wright now has just cleared Chad Klinger up in middle of 1 and 2 here, the battle for the lead. Jeff Wright's going to get it. But back here, we've got a good battle as well. But Klinger going to lose that lead to Jeff Wright. Cabot going to get by McWhorter for 3rd. Then Banks and Bell are racing each other for 5th and 6th. And just as I said, that battle outside the top 10, battles inside the top 10 are starting to come through to fruition here as, man, good racing all around here as Carwell and Cofield get by weekly. That'll move them into 11-12. I'm hearing interesting, something I'm hearing. Carwell coast into the corner, so interesting to see if Ryan Carwell, somebody see maybe play a fuel game later in this race.
Right on board here with the 81. We get some audio. You can hear him clutches as soon as he comes into the corner, using that clutch to kind of set the nose, and that'll save fuel over time. He might have a situation where he only has to pit 3 times. It's going to be interesting.
It could be something, a different strategy, a 3-stopper compared to a 4-stopper. And we could see guys try to stretch this run out long, or even the next run out long, and get a little bit more laps to make sure we do 3 stops, or to make sure. And if you want to split it into 4s, it's a lot tougher. But you're not going to save much tire throughout the entire race. You're going to be pretty much on the go the entire race, on the attack.
Yeah, there's a situation here with Alex Bell. It looks like he's fallen off pretty bad compared to his first run. He's falling back to the clutches of Mark Whitley for the 7th spot. So I'm not exactly sure what's going on with the 15 of Bell. If traffic's just not good for him here. He's running that outside line a little bit earlier than what they did in the previous run, and that might be hurting the tires faster.
Very well could. And looking from what I'm seeing here, interesting to see. I know the guys around him did pit before him, but he tried to short pit right, and it didn't seem to work. And now he's kind of fallen into the clutches, and like you said, with Whitley and Stravato and Sturgill starting to lose some time. Stravato does have the freshest tires of anybody inside the top 10.
Yeah, he stayed out pretty much the longest. I think there was one other car that stayed out longer than that.
And what's amazing, and I have to tell you, what's amazing is he's only 2.5 seconds behind Jeff Wright.
Yeah, I mean, if he can get around Bell and Whitley here.
Yeah, he's got to make quick work.
He's got the tires to do it. It's just the dirty air here is going to affect that wear. You see Whitley down there on the apron trying to let Stravato get around, and Bell gets a little loose off of 4. And contact. Bell goes around and hits Whitley.
Oh, he's in the middle of the track. Oh, he gets nailed. Oh, my goodness. Bell gets hit another time by Sturgill, and then he gets nailed by Ray Massey in the 23. A horrendous wreck on the front stretch.
We saw Bell getting loose, and Stravato lifted, but I don't think it was enough.
And that was an unfortunate situation there. But pretty much Alex Bell's day is going to be done. A hard wreck there for Bell, but you can see battling with Stravato. We talked about Stravato having the fresher tires. Yeah, and it looks like, yeah, I don't know. That was an interesting view on board with Alex Bell.
We're going to see him get loose right here. The wheel's going to cut left, and he's going to cut right.
He's going to get loose, and then it all starts behind them. Stravato just misjudged it, and he clipped the 15 L, and Sturgill piles in, and then nowhere for Massey to go either. And pretty much going to end the night for all 3 of them, because, man, that is a really, really hard hit. And I think Alex Bell for sure, that left front suspension destroyed, but what a hit from the 15 and the 20 and the 32 there, as well as the 90. And
23 of Massey is probably broken on the right front camber, it looks like.
And that's 3 chase drivers involved.
Right front tire completely removed from the 23, so done for the night there. I think the 90 of Sturgill stayed out, so he might be okay.
Yeah, Mark Whitley also, I believe, got a little bit of damage.
There we go. 4 tires and fuel here on pit road. This extra set of tires that we talked about, I think they're going to use them right here. Race off pit road. The 09 of Klinger, the 48 of Jeff Wright, going to win the race off pit road. Cabot's going to come out 3rd. McWhorter, Banks, Stravato, and Carwile.
Carwile, yeah. How about Klinger? good stop there from Klinger. So Klinger going to be somebody we're going to have to talk about for this race. And I want to go back to that wreck there with Bell, Stravato, Massey, and Sturgill. I don't know if we have an aerial view of it, but it just looked like, I don't know if it was a misjudgment from Stravato, or if it was maybe a little bit of net code there. I'm not really sure, but it just seemed, it could have been a racing deal as well. But man, that was very interesting. We talk about how the way these front bumpers are.
Let's see if I can get a better angle of it here.
And we know how these bumpers are, the curvature of the bumper to the rear bumper. They just don't line up here. And you can see here, and Bell gets loose. Ah, man, it's a racing deal from what I could tell. And it looks like Bell got loose, and I think Stravato had the run. He even checked up. He just couldn't. Yeah, I don't really know. I mean, he just misjudged it a little bit. You can hear him get out of the gas. And it's just, you can't really do much there. I mean, it's one of those racing deals, of course. It's just unfortunate that it's going to cost Bell, Sturgill, and Massey a lot of points.
Sturgill down on pit road right now, trying to get some of that damage repaired. You can hear it sitting on. But yeah, Massey pretty much done for the day. Alex Bell going to be pulling it behind the wall. These guys, solid probably 5 to 6 minutes of required repairs before they can even get back out on the racetrack.
Yeah, that is unfortunate to hear and to see there. You know, Jeff Wright will get the lead. I believe Mark McFadden is in fact taking the wave around, so he'll get back on the lead lap. Chuck Sweeting was the lucky dog. So, yeah. So 75 back on the lead laps. So there's no choose cone here. Right? They line up in their spots.
I think they can choose on the front row. Is that what you're talking about? Yeah.
Well, no, I don't on the front row, but I'm saying in the whole field. I know there are some leagues that are trying to implement a choose cone, which will be interesting eventually. But
yeah, I don't know how iRacing's penalty system will like that, but I'm sure they'll.
Well, that's going to be a fun fiasco.
Yeah, I'd hate to be an admin in that league. All right, side by side, Jeff Wright, Chad Klinger on the front row, Joseph McWhorter, Adam Cabot, AJ Stravato, the top 5, and then back through the top 10. You've got Banks, Cofield, Carlisle, Weekly, and Eddie Trejo to that top 10. So getting ready to go back green for the second time tonight. One caution here, 55 laps into this race. You're watching Saturday Night Racing League live on V-Speed from the Chicagoland Speedway. We still have another entire half of this race to go for chase race number 1. Jeff Wright hits the loud pedal, and we're back racing green.
Great restart there from Wright. Wright gets to the lead, but now the battle's on for second. Cabot, Klinger. Klinger didn't seem to get a good jump there. And now he'll lose one spot to Cabot. Now almost might lose a second to McWhorter in the 73 car. Banks, Stravato side by side for 5th and 6th. Top 2 single file, then 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. All side by side. Jonathan Cadell, loose middle of the pack. Weekly has to check up. Trejo as well. Now in the battle, this is mid-pack for about 9th all the way to about 16th position. But this so far, the cluster of cars here in the middle of this pack. Trejo on the inside lane, that Kroger car, and then Kingsford. Then you got Cadell. They're the 69 car, moving up the racetrack. Woo.
Whitley gets really close to the wall, trying to get a run on the outside of the 97. Gary Smith able to hold on, but he's going to get a big run out of 4. I don't think he's going to be able to hold it. He does hit the wall.
And Whitley up through the middle. Whitley trying to force the issue. He'll back out. Gary Smith has to give him a little room. That allows Trejo to kind of prevail on the inside lane, but Whitley was always trying to force an issue there that could have possibly been an incident. But now Smith has to back out for Cadell. Whitley now looks down to the inside lane, won't take him through it. He'll get underneath Smith. This is right out inside the top 10. Now Gary Smith up to the outside lane, side by side with Jonathan Cadell.
He's loose again.
Ooh, man, Smith loose up on the outside. Now Whitley jumps back down to the inside.
Really, really loose on the outside for Gary Smith, trying to hold it together. And these guys all passing him like a freight train on the inside. He knows he wants to be down a little bit lower on the exit of 4 because that car is stepping out hard.
Yes, it is. And so far, this is the only side-by-side battle up until right now. AJ Stravado, Joseph McHorter going at it right now, but Horter gets really loose off of turn 4. Allows Stravado to get down to the inside lane. This allows Joshua Banks to close in, and then another new player inside this top 7 behind these guys is the 58 of Jonathan Cofield. Cofield has closed up now side by side with Joshua Banks. Banks tucked up behind Joseph McWhorter in the 73 car, and then a little bit of ways back to Ryan Caldwell and Caleb Weekly. So still a little bit of gaps all throughout this top 7, but the top 7 only separated by 1.3 seconds from Wright to Banks. Banks now pulls down to the inside of Cofield. Cofield shuts the door, and now Cofield holds on to 6th, but now they'll try to split McWhorter. McWhorter up in the middle now. This is going to be right for the top 5. Oh, Banks almost up into the outside wall.
Really tight racing here for the 5th through 4th spots. Stravado starts to pull away a little bit on these guys. Cofield now works his way to the top 5. He is up 8 spots from where he began this race. Now on the move.
Yeah, Jonathan Cofield is starting to move and groove right now. Here he'll look for 5th on the inside lane. That 58 car is hooked up on the inside lane. McWhorter using that outside lane. Going to try to get that run off the corner. Just won't be able to. Cofield shuts the door. McWhorter has to lift. He'll close up right under to the back bumper of Cofield. Now Banks, oh man, he throws it up on the inside lane. He just won't be able to get at least to him, but he'll get next to him. Can't get there. McWhorter with a big run up off the outside lane. Now they'll tuck back in line. Cofield 5th, McWhorter 6th, and Banks 7th for the lead. It looks like Jeff Wright has it for about 2 car lengths over Adam Cabot, but Cabot starting to close in and reel him in slowly but surely.
Cabot not having to race with Bell and side by side like they did at the beginning of this run. He's able to choose that outside line now in 1 and 2. Gets big runs off of the exit. Doesn't really gain much here in 3 and 4. It looks like Jeff Wright's got him pretty sustained, but here we go into 1. Watch Cabot go all the way up the racetrack and down this backstretch. You'll see that 17 close right back in on the backstretch. That is a good line there.
Yes, it is. That outside lane able to carry a lot of momentum out of the corner. But I'm also noticing Cabot has a lot more shallower entry into turn 3 than Jeff Wright does. Wright has more of an arc, and then Cabot a little more shallow entry. And I want to get an onboard here with Cabot just to see what the difference of lines are. You can see Wright goes down to the bottom, and Cabot uses that outside lane as Ray Massey now exiting pit road, but a lot of damage on that 32 car is Cabot right up by the wall. But man, look at that run. You hear the RPMs climbing down the backstretch, and then you'll see it right
really
there. He'll
shallow,
turn underneath before Wright gets into the corner. He's already committed, and then Wright kind of arcs it in. And I wonder if it gets a little bit of clean air to the nose before on the entry of the corner, and I think that helps his rotation. Obviously, entering right behind in Wright's wake would hurt that car in dirty air, but Cabot's doing a good job. The question is that outside lane starting to hurt those tires?
Yeah, it looks like Klinger's starting to run that bottom, is closing in. Stravado also closing in, but look at the run. That takes, just watching that safer barrier poke out there in the exit of 2. They're getting close.
Yeah, Chicagoland is one of those tracks where that outside lane, that wall, it pokes out at you on the straightaways, and especially off of turn number 4 is another one where it really it comes at you really quick.
Watch it right here, the branded sponsor on the wall, and it's almost camouflaged, blended in with that red sponsor on the right-hand side, but pass for the lead now.
There he goes.
Dives it down to the bottom.
He's going to get at least side by side with him, but is Wright going to be able to do anything about it? Oh my goodness, they slide up the racetrack. Now Cabot on the apron. It just doesn't seem like that apron does what he wants it to do. Now Wright using that outside lane. Cabot trying to get down to the bottom. He'll use that bottom seam, but Wright should prevail with momentum from the outside lane, barring any mistake. Cabot cuts back in line, Wright gets the momentum off the corner. Klinger is now in this mix as well.
Riding on board here with the 09, and you watched him take over the lead during those green flag pit stops. Hasn't lost the leaders. Looks like he's going to be in a situation to actually be on the same tire sets now, so the advantage that these guys had over Chad Klinger in the previous run, it's all gone.
Yeah. Hey, Klinger didn't have as good of a qualifying session as these two did. So Klinger has been, and we talked, and you said about the Saturday night racing, Klinger's been top 3 driver. I think these are your top 3 drivers, your top 3 favorites for the championship. And they're now all racing together and battling for what could quite possibly be the win as we got halfway to go in this race. Probably a 2-stopper to the end. But don't look now. You know who the fastest car in this bunch is? Is that 58 car of Jonathan Cofield. Cofield is really, really starting to turn up the heat. And right now, that last time was the fastest car on the racetrack. And he's starting to run down AJ Stravato.
Well, at the halfway point, you know what we like to do? We do it every single week. We're going to bring the noise here, presented by Harpoon Design. So let's go a couple laps of... Oh, we got the 09 of Klinger. We got to turn up that volume knob, though. Let's find it right now. Bring the noise, presented by Harpoon Design.
Caution, there's a big wrecking one. There's a big wrecking one.
Oh, we can't bring the noise.
Yep, there's a wreck. Kyle Kananovich is around. I believe Brandon Wallace might have had a little bit of an issue. And I believe there was one other car caught up. Chuck Sweeting also involved in it. The second caution of the evening as soon as we were bringing up the nose by Harpoon Design. Appreciate Harpoon Designs for all they do for the Saturday Night Racing League, but our second caution of the night comes out lap 72 of 140, which I would assume will bring everybody back down to pit lane as Kyle Kanatovich, Brandon Wallace, and Chuck Sweeting now bringing it down to pit lane with heavy left front damage. Get a replay here. These guys brawling. It looks like Gary Smith in the outside wall, and then getting some battling here in Kanatovich
right into the back of
drives into Sweeting, and Smith hard up into the outside wall. And I don't know if Brandon Wallace got a piece of it. I think he just was cruising on by as he was. Mark McFadden's actually gonna get a pretty good deal out of that. He'll be the lucky dog. But yeah, man, Kanatovich sent it in there, and there was really nowhere to go.
Yeah, Sweeting was just running his line, and there was nowhere for the 05.
Sweeting just got plowed into.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. But now everybody bringing it down pit lane. Jeff Wright leading the troops down. Can they execute? Can they have a good stop?
Wright, Cabot, Stravato, Klinger. There comes Whitley in his stall. You can see some of these guys kind of, I don't know, angled in their stall. It kind of helps the drive off. You see Jeff Wright get a great exit, and Klinger almost, I think he wins. He does not.
No, he didn't. He almost beat Cabot, but it was close. Tell you who was maybe not wanting to see that caution was the 58 of Cofield. Cofield was absolutely hauling. I think he might have had something to say there at the end of that run with how much speed he had. Unfortunately, that caution coming out is going to halt his progress. But at least he gets to get bunched back up with these top 4.
And I think this situation here with the 58, he's going to be the same on this run. This is very similar to what we just had. So now he has less cars to work with and pass. He's got Stravato and Klinger, and then that'll put him right there with the top 2 that have been racing back and forth. I think right here with Cofield, this is his run. He might have an opportunity. So long as he doesn't try to race those guys and burn his stuff up and maintain that line.
That is true. See, we'll have a couple now. I think we can, well, since we're under caution, it looks like Ray Mass is going to get one of his 12 laps back. How about we go to a quick commercial break, and we'll come back for the restart here at Chicagoland for the first race of the chase. We'll be right back for a quick commercial break.
the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Back here live, and we had a wreck under caution.
Wow, wow.
Unbelievable here.
Wow. And
Jack
caution's
Klinger.
back out. Klinger got spun under caution.
I don't know what to say about that. Other than we're gonna take an
Klinger
instant
interacted, but
replay.
yeah, I don't really know what happened. It kind of started with Cabot. I think Cabot's car shut off. See, they're going under caution here. Cabot's car had an issue, and then Cofield got hit by Carwell, and then Cofield turned Klinger into the 77 of Whitley, and then they just wrecked before they got to the green, and then Kanatovich piles into the 09.
I don't
think I've ever seen anything like that in iRacing. That's very odd. It looked like Cabot's car just shut off.
Here's audio.
Yeah, his car shut off. And then they start wrecking behind him. And poor Mark Whitley got a lot of left front damage from that. And now AJ Travato is second. Cabot's back down to
I
third.
think he hit the wrong gear. His car didn't shut off. He was in the wrong gear. His shifter or something here.
Yeah, he didn't shift.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but it's a first for us here at SNR. I'm
Wow.
curious to see what happened here.
Yeah,
I think. Do we pull Adam
perplexed.
Cabot up here and figure this out?
Yeah. Is Cabot in here? Is the question. I don't see him. I don't think he's here.
We don't have the 17.
No.
Let's see if we can bring our league steward and admin Jeff Wright in here.
Yeah, he's leading this race. Let's see if we can get him in here. I don't know if I can't get him, but
Yeah, I got it.
all right. Let's see.
Whoops.
Nope.
I moved him to
That's
the wrong place.
channel. That is the
There
wrong.
we go.
Jeff
We're
Wright,
in the
Alex
V-Speed
Martinez.
channel.
Alex Martinez, Bradley Cooper in the VC booth. Got a copy, buddy?
Yeah, I got you out.
Oh, you've been dominating this race, and it seems like two of your biggest competitors might have just had an issue on their restart. Do you know anything of what happened?
Yeah, from the sounds of it, it sounded like Adam had the car shut off, was trying to get it refired as we were approaching the Geico restart zone there, and just couldn't quite get it going. So I saw him in my mirror lagging back, and I thought, maybe he had a network, connection problem or something along those lines. So I was actually looking about, I was like, do we need to delay the screen? But I hate that a couple really fast cars got caught up in that. I saw, Chad Klinger, I see he's right now scored 18th. Not what you want to see. And then I don't know if Adam got any damage out of that, Alec. I don't know if you can tell me how that car
I don't
looked,
think
but
he did, from what I
Yeah.
can tell.
yeah, unfortunate situation. It took out some guys or got some guys some damage, but yeah, I'm still expecting Adam Cabot's probably going to be the guy to beat. He's been really, really quick, and it's been fun though. I mean, you saw that first stint of laps. It was aggressive. It was multiple lanes all over the place. A lot of fun. So I'm sure Adam Cabot's not out of this one just yet.
I would have to agree with you. That's for sure. Now, let me ask you this. You've been really fast all night. Do you think you have what it takes to open this chase off with the win?
I'd really like to. Chicago's a track I really enjoy coming to, especially in this car track combo. Doesn't get much better than this, so I'm gonna do everything I can here to try to start this chase off with a victory. But got a lot of fast guys behind me: AJ Stravato, Adam Cabot, Joshua Banks. So yeah, this one's definitely not over. But yeah, we're gonna give it our all for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we appreciate your time, Jeff. Good luck, and go out and put on a show for us like you always do.
All right, will do.
Thank you. Jeff Wright, your race
So,
leader. How about AJ Travato?
You're right.
Second?
You were right, Alex. Cabot just
Yes.
had the car shut off. And that's
Yeah.
unfortunate because that takes out 2 or 3 guys that were pretty fast here. Klinger with a ton of damage still sitting on pit road here. I think Sturgill got another piece of that as well. He's coming back out on the racetrack. Man, that's an unfortunate series of events, and you just chalk it up to mechanical failure. Things beyond your control.
Really, I really do hate to see that, because I felt like we were going to have a good battle between those 4. Or those 3, I should say, with Cabot. I mean, Cabot's still in fight. I was really curious to see what Klinger was going to be able to do, because I think he definitely had a chance. That was for dang sure.
Now, I'm curious here to see what Jonathan Cofield could do. He lost a couple spots on pit road, or during that last restart, actually. He was up to 5th, and then after that little incident there, caution marks him back in 8th position. But here we go. Let's try this restart again. Cabot's got the car turned on. And we're going to go back live and racing here for Saturday Night Racing League at Chicagoland.
Well, back racing once again. Jeff Wright gets a great jump, top 3 clear, single file. Then it goes right, Travato, Cabot. Then it's the battle between Banks, Whitley, and McWhorter. That's 5th all the way through 7th, or through 6th, excuse me. And then how about 7th? Jonathan Cadell has poked up into the top half of this field. In the picture now, Cadell in that 69 Steel Horse Live car closing up as well. Then Cofield right behind him. And now battle for 2nd. Cabot now all the way down to the apron, side by side with AJ Travato. Banks throwing a little bit of a block on the number 73 of Joseph McWhorter. And now these 2 fight side by side. Now 2 rows, a side by side. Travato a little bit loose, has to come out of the gas. This should allow Cabot to get a little bit of momentum down the front of the backstretch, and he'll get it. Now Banks pulls side by side with Travato, or at least side by side with McWhorter. Now McWhorter really loose on that inside lane. Cabot moves up to 2nd. Now
car on the
Banks
wall
looks for
behind
3rd.
That was Whitley that tagged it.
Whitley?
77 tags the wall coming out of 4. Cofield gets clear of Cadell. And we talked about that run that Cofield was having earlier in this race. I don't expect anything less than to see him in the top 5 here momentarily. Side by side again. Banks, Travato for 3rd.
Yeah, Banks now under pressure, pressuring Travato for 3rd, trying to get that podium spot. Now Banks using that outside lane, carrying the momentum down the front stretch. Now pulls dead even with Travato on the inside. They'll close tight up into the dog leg. And then now still side by side, but now Travato loses the nose right in the wake of the 17. This should allow Banks to clear and take the lead.
So pass for 3rd there, 35 into the top 3. Cofield running that outside line back here behind him. Looked like he came in a little high there in 3 and 4 and then brought it down to the bottom. He's running an entirely different line than the rest of this top 8.
He really is, and it's interesting to see what's going on here, what's happening. Man, I love watching these guys move around this racetrack. It always just makes it so awesome to see.
Sliding around, you don't really drive this car like anything else on iRacing. There's so much horsepower that you're steering it with a throttle the whole time. Look at the 35 of Banks just hanging it out there. That staggered offset. It's kind of trippy to watch when you follow a guy to the outside wall. You can't tell if he's getting loose or if he's just power driving it.
Yeah, and sometimes just allowing that rear tires to have that slip angle and being able to let these cars kind of slide around the racetrack. That's always cool to see and look. I love watching these guys kind of wheel and deal here.
So we tried it earlier. We're going to try it again. We're 86 laps into this race. We're going to bring the noise presented by Harpoon Design. For a couple laps here, let's hear the volume turned up and listen to 950 horsepower. bringing the noise and a great race going on here for the
This-
lead. Adam Cabot and Jeff Wright going back and forth.
Cabot now back down to the inside. They swap positions once. Can they do it again? Cabot now on the inside lane. This isn't right with the 48 car. Just can't do it. Jeff Wright pulls ahead. This is closed up with Banks now closing up into this picture in the top three. Then McWhorter and Stravato going at it. McWhorter gets by the 33 of Stravato, moves that 33 car back to fifth, and move the 73 car up to fourth. Now it's 6 cars under a blanket because Jonathan Cofield has closed up to these guys.
Yeah, he's about 3/10 off of these boys in front of him, and they're racing side by side, so it's only a matter of time before this 58 with his tire saving. He was able to pull that off on the last run. I think he's doing the same here. He's not pushing the issue. He's just going to let these guys go up here and battle it out. You see Cabot and Wright, Banks and McWhorter, Stravato. They're all dishing it out here for a solid lap. Oh, wow, the 33 follows this. That was McWhorter in front of him that flipped the wall, and Stravato followed him right into it.
Yeah, Stravato got a nice piece of the wall there. I don't think he was looking to doing that, but he definitely got it pretty good as McWhorter almost gets into the wall once again. But yeah, now we're getting to the point of the race where we're going to start seeing guys really push it. I mean, we almost got 40 to go. Here comes Cabot underneath Wright for the lead again. Oh,
Wow,
just
Wright
took the
had
wall.
no track left at all.
Cabot, he's not going to give him too much room because this is for the lead. And there's points on the line here and a championship on the line. Wright using that outside lane, almost the Larson line, but not as close to the wall as some would say. But now he'll get that run off the corner. Cabot will tuck back in line. Then Banks left about 4, kind of on an island of his own all by himself in third. And then McWhorter, Stravato, and Cofield are all on top of each other here as Wright just trying to hold on to this lead.
Jeff Wright, 1/10 of a second there, faster. That's, I mean, that just comes down to Jeff played defense on the exit, and Cabot's matching him every lap.
It really is. I mean, these cars are so even. These drivers are so even right now. They're trading lap times pretty much. And right now it's going to be who can get ahead of who. Right now it's
They're trading lines, too. Look at this.
Oh, yeah.
Wright comes down and gives him very dirty air in 3 and 4. Oh, and the car hits the wall back here.
Oh, we got a spinner. We got a spinner on the front stretch.
That's Whitley.
Is that Whitley? Whitley's around in the infield, but no caution here.
Whitley was struggling big time there with the line. He was getting really tight. Let's go back and take a look. No, he gets loose coming off of 4, and how he doesn't hit that wall. He didn't hit it. He was
didn't
close.
get it. Wow.
Come off there sideways. Watch this from another angle here.
Oh, yeah, he did. Oh, man, he almost overcorrected. Great job keeping it up and in the infield there, but everybody stays clean and green so far. The battle for fourth is starting to heat up once again. Stravato, McWhorter, and then Cofield right behind them. The battle for the lead as well, still raging on, but Cofield closes up to the back bumper of the 73 and 33. Oh, Stravato going to run him tight down the front or down the back stretch. And now McWhorter's going to kind of pinch in there. It's going to take the air off of the 33 car. That 33 car is going to get tight and then snap loose here. You can see that back end just kind of wiggling around there, and this should allow Cofield to get a big run down this front stretch.
Cofield's been very patient. These guys trying to sort it out, get some clean air on the nose.
Oh, I like that by Cofield.
McWhorter, look at Cofield all the way down to the bottom. He's got the run here on the outside of Stravato now.
Cofield did a great job backing up the corner, then crossing over the 33 in off the corner, getting that clean air to the nose, but now he'll send it to the outside. McWhorter trying to take the air away from the 33. Cofield using the outside lane, has to get out of the gas. Stravato keeps fifth, but now the battle for the lead. Almost some contact between Cabot and Wright. Now they almost door again into turn number 1. Cabot slacked up
right into the wall.
He got into the wall, but Cabot had to lift as well. Now Wright has the run. He'll cross him over down the backstretch. Wright with the slide job. Cabot has to get out of the gas, but he gets to the outside. Wright's loose. Cabot up to the outside, side by side, but here comes Banks behind him. Oh, look at this. This is hard racing. They're both going to slide up the track. Banks now crosses Banks up 3 wide down the backstretch for the lead. Look at this, 3 wide again. They all 3 slide up the racetrack. Cabot and Wright dooring each other. Banks slides up. They make contact. The top 3 still 3 wide for the lead. Banks on the inside. Right in the middle. Cabot on the outside.
I can't believe what I'm watching right now.
And they're
What a
still
show.
3 wide. Look at this. But Cabot now on the outside lane. Right side directed down the backstretch. Cabot pulls ahead with the lead.
What a show these guys are putting on here at Saturday Night Racing League. Jeff Wright, Joshua Banks, Adam Cabot. A whole lap of 3 wide for the lead, and Cabot prevails to take it back.
Cabot got the lead, and now he's going to try to keep it, but right now looks down to the inside lane. Cabot goes to defend. Now he'll go inside. Wright goes outside. Banks stays middle, and now McWhorter, Stravato, Cofield, and how about Jonathan Cadell and Ryan Carwile closing into the picture. 8 cars separated by a second and a half.
Cofield has been very, very patient watching all this unfold in front of him, praying these guys don't make a mistake. Banks now to the inside of Wright off of 4. He's got the pressure on the 48 now.
Wright's going to do a good, he's going to have to do a masterful job of holding off this 35, but also not letting that 17 of Cabot slip away. Right now he's got to hold second.
He's loose.
He can. With that, he might not be able to, but he can't let Cabot get out of his sights.
Now the 35 has the run into 3 and 4. Jeff Wright, super loose coming out of 2. 35 to the inside. Jeff Wright's handling us, and he's going. He's losing that right rear.
It's exactly what Cabot wants to see. If you're Adam Cabot, you're rooting for Jeff Wright to hold him off and cost himself more time here. Banks
up into the wall again.
Oh, Wright has to get out of the throttle. This should allow Banks to get at least even with them, but Banks can't carry the momentum that Wright can. McWhorter and Stravato get it settled out for 4th and 5th with Cofield. Then you have Cadell and Carwile still battling together. Now, Wright gets loose off the corner. This allows Banks to pull ahead. Banks swerves down the front stretch. Banks should clear going into turn 1. Yes, he will. He's going to have to send it there and clear the 48.
Oh, they're really tight off the end of 1.
Look at this. Oh, this is going to get tight off of turn 2, but how about AJ Stravato out of nowhere?
3 wide again down the back stretch here for 2nd position.
The Italian stallion out of nowhere, closing up. Oh, Banks trying to run him low. Stravato has to come out of the gas. This allows McWhorter to get to the outside. Wright clears for 2nd. Cadell gets by Cofield. Carwell trying to do the same. Cadell up into 6th. They're all closing in here inside this top 5, but Cabot is pulling away by 7/10.
Cabot's loving what he sees back here for the 2nd position, and Banks got to the inside. Stravato out of nowhere. Now we've got the 73 of McWhorter. These guys still duking it out. And look at Cadell gets back around. Where did the 58 of Cofield go?
Cofield all the way back down to 8th. Maybe overheated those tires just a little bit too much. Right now, Cofield doing the dang thing here in 8th. But then you got Wright, Banks, then McWhorter, Stravato, Cadell, Carwile, then Cofield in from 2nd to 8th. Looks like Wright's been able to kind of just maximize or capitalize on the salvage that 2nd place position. Right now, Ryan Carwile going to try to do the... Oh, Carwile gets turned! Carwile into the outside wall!
And Cofield's involved.
Cofield. And Koss just makes it, but a big wreck and a hard hit for Ryan Carwile and a hard hit and probably night over for Jonathan Cofield. And it seemed like Carwile was going to bring it into pit road, and I don't know if Cofield got the message or not.
Go back and watch it on the instant replay. These guys coming out of turn 4. Watch here on the left side of your screen. The 81's going to check up.
Oh, I checked up and then, oh man, hard hit for the, a hard hit to the 5 car there, or the 58 car of Cofield. And Carwile, unfortunately, gets caught up in that. What could have been a great strategy, unfortunately, gets ended there because of that little incident with Carwile and Cofield. And Cofield probably got the worst end of the stick there with probably night over and suspension damage. But Carlisle is salvageable that day, that damage there. But now everybody has brought it down to pit road.
I'm going to go one more time here with Max Cost on board. See where he was trying to figure out where to go here.
The wreck happens. Job not hitting the 70 or the 81 there. But live shot right now, Cabot wins the race off of pit road. Banks comes out third, Wright second, then McWhorter, Stravato, and how about Eddie Trejo with a heck of a stop, up to sixth in that 21 car. Then it goes Cadell, and how about Brandon Wallace? Haven't really talked about him all night. He's up in eighth.
So this top 10, just inside of it, has kind of cycled around. You had some guys that were in there earlier, Sturgill, Sweeting, Bell, all behind the wall here tonight. Gary Smith also parking it for the night. We still have 17 cars on the racetrack, 15 of those on the lead lap. Jonathan Cofield down pit road to try to get some of this damage repaired and salvaged this night. He was running in the 8th position when that caution come out. We're going to take another quick commercial break here. You're watching Saturday Night Racing League live on V-Speed. We'll be back side by side right after this.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic, real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
All right, back here for the Saturday Night Racing League. First race one of the chase for the Cup here. 28 laps to go. Adam Cabot on the inside. Jeff Wright on the outside. Going to be 30 laps to go, excuse me, at the line. Green flag. Back out and back underway from Chicagoland Speedway. Cabot jumps ahead and he gets the spot. Now the battle is for second. Banks and Jeff Wright. Now the quarter 3 wide using that outside lane. Won't get up to the top 2. But boy, oh boy, do we got a show for these last 30 or so laps. Banks back up to the outside lane. Cabot opens up about a 2 or 3 car length lead over Wright, but Wright trying to close up that gap just a little bit.
They're all on the same set of tires. We leveled the playing field, and for 28 laps, these guys have already been duking it out midway through this race. I think the action's about to stay the same. You've still got the top three that were going 3 wide just a moment ago. Jeff Wright getting that high line, trying to make it work, but Cabot gets a decent run there off of 2 to maintain the gap and keep him at 2/10.
Yeah, Cabot looked like he was able to, or Wright tried to use that outside lane, and then he just got a little bit tight, and it costed him some time. But now, look at this, the top 5 under a blanket right now, all the way down to the apron. He'll pull almost next to the 17, won't be able to do it. Cabot runs the top, Wright goes down to the bottom, gets some cleaner to the nose, and here comes Joshua Banks closing up as well.
Down the backstretch, side by side, it's really tight, and maybe another 3 wide battle. Banks now looking like he's coming.
Right down to the inside lane, but he's going to get tight. Cabot just pinching him off the corner, and Cabot almost catches the wall. Where does Banks go? Cabot side drafting the 48. It might take a slide job out of Wright to clear the 17. Cabot now backs out of it. Wright gets the lead. Slide job for the 48 car, but here comes Banks. But Banks up the outside. And it's contact for Cabot. McWhorter goes down to avoid.
How did they not wreck?
I don't know. That's pure talent right there out of the Magic Man himself. Adam Cabot.
Oh boy, he's loose again.
And what a save from Cabot, but Cabot losing valuable spots, valuable track position. And now it's up to Wright to try to hold it, but Banks starting to pressure the 48 of Wright for the lead.
And here comes Cabot back on the run on the inside, coming out of 2.
That outside lane's just got more momentum right now in this short run. As McWhorter now looking for 3rd. McWhorter up on the outside of that middle lane. He'll pinch Cabot off. Cabot will have to tuck back in line as Stravato closing the gap. Stravato now dodged to the inside of the 17 of Cabot, right on the apron, back up the racetrack. Now Banks using that outside lane as well as McWhorter and Cabot, and then right all the way hooking that white line on the inside. Stravato drifts up the track. Cabot catches the wall.
A little clip there with the wall on the exit of 2, and now Cabot looking defeated. He's on the outside. He has a preferred line here, but it looks like that car has just gotten away from him here as the racetrack has kind of evolved. That high line not working quite as well as it did earlier in this race.
Yeah, Cabot just seems to have lost just a little bit of edge that he once had on that previous run here when he got the lead from Jeff Wright, but Wright has gotten back up to the point. Now Banks about 5 car lengths back from the 48 car. Then Joseph McWhorter is starting to close up for 3rd, looking for 2nd. Then still side by side between Cabot and Stravato. Stravato, the 33 car on the outside, Cabot on the inside. Stravato finally gets 4th away from the 17.
I was watching back here a little bit further. Mark Whitley, who hit the wall and spun down into the grass. Well, didn't hit the wall, but come out for 4 completely sideways, goes down into the grass, able to recover. He is in the 6th position, just behind him. Jonathan Cadell and Caleb Weekly. How about that? Having a good night here tonight for the 13.
Now Weekly having a good run here as well. Eddie Trejo 9th, and how about Brandon Wallace inside the top 10? But he's in a battle right now. Oh, we got trouble!
A card, that's clear.
Yeah, clear! And the night gets worse for the 09. He's going to lose valuable spots. They're back down to 14th, battling with Kanonovich.
Yeah, he's down on the inside. Looks like he clips the apron, maybe? Nope, he's just going to get loose off of 4.
Oh,
no, Kanonovich comes off. Then 09 down on the inside.
Tell you what, though, this battle for the lead is getting good here as Banks is all over Wright, and it makes you wonder, is Wright just trying to save as much as he can maybe for this long run? I can tell you this, Banks isn't really trying to save. He's trying to get by the 48 of Jeff Wright. Now Stravato trying to look underneath McWhorter for 3rd. Can't do it. McWhorter uses that outside lane, keeps 3rd. Then it's Cabot in 5th. Stravato 4th, and it's Whitley, Cadell, Weekly, Trejo, Wallace is your top 10. Right backing up that center of the corner, and he gets the exit off, but Banks getting ever so close. Oh,
Stravato into the wall.
Stravato up into the wall. Cabot gets underneath and takes the spot.
With the pressure on him there coming out of 4, and Stravato just overdrove it a little bit. Just enough there. It doesn't really cause any damage in the 33, but it is enough to break his momentum in the 17. Trying to go back to the hunt, and he also clips the wall.
Yeah, these guys are just clipping it. I don't know, Stravato was more of a nice little smack there, but right now Cabot Up to fourth, Banks still trying to pressure that 48 of Wright for the lead. Just can't do it. McWhorter gets a nice run off the corner, but he'll stay third. Then Cabot, then Travato, your fourth and fifth. Wright doing a masterful job. We talked to him early in this race, said how much he loves this racetrack, and right now that love is growing even stronger as he still has the lead with 18 laps to go. Now Cabot goes underneath Joseph McWhorter for third. Now Cabot trying to get that spot. He'll lose the nose behind the 35, but at least pulls even with McWhorter, who's loose.
They're tight.
Oh, man, there's contact.
A lot of contact there for the third spot. And they're going to do it again as they go into one.
Good save there from both the 17 and the 73. Cabot slide job into the corner. Should be able to clear McWhorter unless McWhorter can get enough of a run to cross him over. No, he can't. Cabot up to third. Cadell back in sixth. Just got by Weekly. Actually, they're side by side with Whitley. Cadell powers forward and gets sixth away from Mark Whitley in the 77 car. Then behind them, Weekly and Trejo battling in 8th, 9th, and 10th. Or excuse me, 8th and 9th. Then Cabot now looking for second on Banks.
So what a rebound here for the 17. He lost 4 spots. Went all the way back to the 5th position. Now look at the rebound. Coming back.
Oh, McWhorter's in the wall. Stravato's going to get tight underneath him here. Oh, it's going to be a tight battle here off of turn number 4. This has allowed Cadell and Whitley to close up slowly but surely. And now up for fourth, this is the battle for fourth on the racetrack. Stravato on the inside. Up on the outside is McWhorter. Stravato's going to have to clear up the racetrack, but McWhorter just powers off the corner, gets that run. And now Cabot and Wright are starting to pull away just a little bit from third on back.
So it's crunch time now with 15 laps to go. You're seeing AJ Stravato and Joseph McWhorter for the 4th position. Here comes Cadell as well.
Jonathan Cadell's going to get a massive run. He might even take him 3-1. No, he thinks better, but he backs out. But he's going to let these two keep on fighting as these two just start to use up more of those Goodyear Racing tires, and they start burning more rubber off as this run goes. 15 laps to go from Chicagoland Speedway as Cadell closing up now to the outside of Stravato.
And gets back to the throttle a little bit too
the
early there.
And look at that, Cadell to the inside, contact with Stravato. Cadell, they all spin at the top. The 3 gets spun, McWhorter goes around, Stravato gets around, and they all wreck onto the front stretch there, and the caution comes out again. Oh my goodness! And Joseph McWhorter, AJ Stravato, and Jonathan Cadell spin into the infield, and we'll get into a replay here. McWhorter gets loose and allows Stravato to get low, and then Cadell is there, and they just meet where there's no room.
Yeah, and Cadell can't go any lower. He can't go any lower here. If you watch on this replay, he's going to hit that track transition. And we've seen this car get upset several times with a couple different drivers. Bell, one of those in the early race, but yeah, it's just there's no room.
Deal with 15 to go there. Cadell could have used the apron, but I don't think the apron was even working enough to where Cadell could have utilized that to get that spot. And that's
just to him stay on the RPMs here as they come off. He stays on this all the way through, even after he's getting sideways.
He never looked, he willed it. I respect that. As here comes the leaders into pit road. Wright, Cabot, Banks, now Cadell, Stravato, top 5. McWhorter shuffled out side of the top 5. Now this could be the money stop, and I believe this is going to be their last set of Goodyear Racing Eagles in the pit lane. What pit crew is going to rise to the occasion? Wright just makes it into the stall, as well as Cabot. Now right sides will go up. Is anybody willing to or daring enough to take 2? Eddie Trejo looks like he's going to be that guy to take 2. The Kingsford Chevrolet is going to get the lead off of pit road, and it looks like Cabot is going to beat Jeff Wright out of pit road. Abbott gets the spot on right back to third. Banks fourth, Cadell fifth, Whitley sixth. How about Weekly up to seventh, and then Kananovich eighth, Klinger inside the top 10 again at ninth, and then McWhorter, who was involved in that last incident, stays inside the top 10. But Eddie Trejo trying to pull the cat out of the hat here and maybe pull off what could be his first win.
This car's been really loose, so it's going to be a handful now.
It'll be really loose
right
now.
Side onlys, yeah, it's not going to help at all. But if you can wheel it, Eddie Trejo is going to take over the lead here with about 8 to go when we take the green flag.
Oh boy, man, 10 laps. We're gonna be under 10 laps, I believe, for this restart here.
You know, there's a guy that we haven't talked to all season long. If we'd like to bring the 21 of Eddie Trejo, if he's
Eddie Trejo in here, yeah.
Find
He
him.
is.
Let's
Yeah,
bring
let's see if I can dial him up.
the 21 up here.
Yeah. Eddie Trejo, Alec Martinez, Bradley Cooper in the VCB booth. You got a copy, buddy?
Yep.
Well, it's been a while, man, since I've talked to you, but pulling a strategy call here, maybe trying that little two-tire pit stop. Do you think the strategy can maybe get you the win?
Maybe, man. We'll see. I've been a little bit on the weak side in terms of restarts, so hopefully I get a good jump here, and the other guys don't. And I'm a little more comfortable riding against the wall. I was riding that most of the race, so we'll just see how it goes. Hopefully these guys don't get a good as launch as I do.
Heck yeah, well, we appreciate your time, Eddie. Good luck, and because me and you share this bond, tomorrow, Sunday, go Rams, brother. I think it's Monday, though, but it's all right.
Yeah, they play on Monday, brother, but it's all good. We're going to win.
It's all good. It's all good. We're going to win. We're going to beat Cincinnati. Good luck, man, and have fun out there. And my best advice for you, don't spin the tires on the restart.
That's the plan. Thanks.
All right, have a good one, Eddie. Good luck.
All right.
Taking over the lead here for the 21 with the two-tire stop. It's Adam Cabot, Jeff Wright, Joshua Banks, and Jonathan Cadell. How about Cadell?
Yeah, I mean, he still has a chance at winning this race here as
Little
Trejo's
right
going
front
to
damage.
take the outside lane. So, oh boy, this is going to be interesting. Wright is probably going to have to get really aggressive here.
Well, he had no shortage of aggression there that put Cabot all the way back in the 5th position. He played defense and actually worked so well that Cabot lost 4 spots after the fact. I don't know how you play defense, though, when you're behind Cabot. You're going to have to go up there and play some offense initially, and hopefully the 21, a teammate in front of him, gets a good restart and doesn't set Jeff Wright back, because we don't have a lot of time left.
This is going to be tough, man. It's going to be interesting to see what can happen here. I'm looking forward to seeing if any of these guys, like a Cadell, like a Whitley, if they can get anything here. Maybe surprise or shock this playoffs here.
I mean, you know a countdown's coming. You know a countdown's coming. Those guys are in the same Discord room right now, so the 21, the 48, they're going to count it down and try to clear Cabot into 1.
They're going to try. Wright's going to get a nice jump here, but is it going to be enough is the question. As into the Geico restart zone, they'll go 8 laps to go to settle it here at Chicagoland. Trejo on 2 tires gets a heck of a jump. Cabot spins him, lights him up. They'll spin out on the front stretch. Trejo gets the lead, but can Wright do anything? Trejo goes down to defend on the inside lane. Cabot now shifts over, but he knows that Wright's going to get the run. Wright's going to get the lead off the turn number 2. 3 wide for 5th.
Joshua Banks all over the back bumper of Cabot there.
Oh, Eddie Trejo's being a good teammate here. He's going to allow Wright to pull away here. Oh, Banks got... Oh, Cadell's in the outside wall. Eddie Trejo, it might win Jeff Wright the race here. Oh, Cabot's in the wall. Cabot up in the outside wall again. And that might cost him a shot at the win. Whitley goes by. Banks looks for second. And how about Kananovich down to the inside now, side by side with Cabot. Oh, and the 05 gets tight there. Now look at Cadell to the outside. 3 wide here off of turn number 4. Cabot slides up. Cabot gets turned. Cabot into Kananovich. 3 wide down the front stretch. 4 wide with Whitley to the outside. Oh, and Cadell into the wall.
It's a cluster back here. The 17 leading it around.
McWhorter goes up to the outside lane. Oh, Weekly's in the wall.
Weekly hard hit to the wall.
Konatovich hard to the inside wall. No caution. Race stays green, but Weekly with a ton of left side damage.
And Jeff Wright pulls away 5/10, half a second now, with 5 laps to go as they cross the line.
Six laps to go now. Jeff Wright has about a 6/10 of a second lead. He's got a nice lead over Joshua Banks. Banks second. How about Mark Whitley third? Then it goes Trejo, Cabot, and McWhorter down to the inside, trying to get the 2-for-1 special. McWhorter slides at the racetrack. Trejo gets loose off the floor. That's going to stack him up even more. And it looks like Trejo's going to lose 2, 3, maybe even 4 now to AJ Stravato as well.
That was all part of the plan, was it not?
Yeah, he's trying to get some track position there, but unfortunately he's sliding around. Jeff Wright has the lead. Klinger almost into the back bumper of Trejo back there for 7th, or excuse me, for 8th. But right now the top 3 are about 1.6 seconds ahead of Joseph McWhorter, the car in 4th, Cabot 5th. Cadell trying everything he got. He's up into the outside wall again. He'll pull side by side now with AJ Stravato for 6th.
Now 4 laps to go. Jeff Wright coming off of turns 1 and 2. Joshua Banks has shaved down another 10th here, last time by 30.5 to a 30.6 with Jeff Wright.
Banks is giving it all he's got, but I don't think he's got the pace that the 48 car has. I think Cabot was the only other car that maybe had the speed of the 48. But if Banks can maybe try a miracle here, he might have a chance, but I just don't know if he's going to have enough time to get there. He's about trading lap times. He's about a 10th faster that last time. I just don't know if he's got enough time coming to 2 laps to go.
But here he is again. He was a 10th faster the lap before. A 10th faster this time by, and looks like he might be catching a little bit more. As they go into 3 and 4, coming off the exit, it looks like another 10th is shaved off.
It does, but it just looks like he's losing a little bit too much. Just a little bit too much in that wake of the 48 car, but in turns number 1 and 2, 2 laps to go. They about traded lap times. Banks trying everything he could do, but it just doesn't look like it's going to be enough. A lap and a half to go. Jeff Wright looking to open up the chase with a win here at Chicagoland. Into turn 3, 2 to go, coming to the white flag. It goes Wright, Banks, Whitley, McWhorter, Cabot top 5, and off of turn 4, white flag. 1 more lap to go from Chicagoland.
So just one more time for the 48 team. They just have to bring it off of turn 4. A little bit of racing going on back here behind them. Stravato and Cadell side by side, but it's going to be Jeff Wright to start the season off properly. Or the chase, rather. The Lowe's 48 shows him what's going on. Joshua Banks gives a little wiggle, and it's Jeff Wright getting the win. Let's go back here and watch and see who finishes out here. It looked like Cadell was side by side with Stravato across the line, but your top 3 is going to be Jeff Wright, Joshua Banks, and Joseph McWhorter. Alec, what a race.
Yes, sir, what a race. And how about Jeff Wright opening up the chase with a win, and Joseph McWhorter made a daring move to the outside of Mark Whitley on the final lap and got the spot. And looks like McWhorter will get 3rd in this race, and a podium will be able to talk to him as Jeff Wright, your winner here tonight from Chicagoland. He's been so dominant in the Saturday Night Racing League. And no surprise to see the Lowe's 48 machine in a win this last few weeks have been a good time. It's been a good time to be Jeff Wright as he burns it down on the front stretch. This was the battle for 6th. Stravato barely going to edge out Cadell by about a half a car length. Side by side is Wright burning it down on the front stretch. Stick around for post-race interviews where we get to talk to your top 3, Jeff Wright, Joshua Banks, and Joseph McWhorter. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break, but until then, stick around and we'll talk to your podium finishers.
the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic, real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Back here live, Saturday Night Racing League. First race of the chase at Chicagoland Speedway. We've completed 140 laps for 210 miles here tonight, and it was a good one. I hope you guys got to watch a lot of this because we had 3 wide battles for the lead. We had drivers clipping the wall every single corner. We had guys wheeling, pit road, taking 2 tires. It was everything you could think of in an event, and I enjoyed every second of it. But we're going to get a post-race with your podium top 3, and currently down there on pit road with your third place finisher, Joseph McWhorter, is Alec Martinez.
Yes, sir. Joseph McWhorter, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, buddy, you fought tooth and nail the entire race with Adam Cabot, Joshua Banks, Jeff Wright, AJ Stravado. Heck, you even got spun on that last caution and worked your way all the way back up to third. Take us through your race.
It's hot, it is tired, and I'm out of breath. I just, man, I wish I could have got some track position tonight. I feel like I had a really, I felt like I was really fast. I feel like I could have gotten around, or at least battled with Jeff for the lead there, but just couldn't get around Josh. I couldn't, every time I get a run on him, I'd have to check up because, I'd catch him in the wrong part of the corner, and it was just that way all night. I kept getting kind of stuck in a rut there because, like, I'd start catching, I'd hang out in a little gap by myself for a little bit and save tire, and then I'd start chasing the leaders down, and then as soon as I get back to that group, that top 4 or 5, caution would come out, and man, I just couldn't get the track position. But a good start to the chase. We scored really good points tonight. Didn't lead a lap, which kind of sucks. We could have really used that bonus point. Jeff winning tonight's probably going to extend his lead a good bit. We came in 22 points down. Him winning the race, so he's probably going to be like 30 something above us now. So I hope I really hope Talladega's a big shakeup next week, and we can gain some big points on him. But man, I gotta say a big shout out to I had a new spotter tonight, Roger. He called the race to the crew chief and everything. He called a hell of a race. That battle with Stravado for like 20 something laps side by side was just incredible, and him calling it. So, I can't thank Roger enough for all the help tonight.
For sure, man. Well, again, I want to ask you next week, Talladega. You say you can gain points. Do you think you have a shot at maybe winning that race? We know it's the biggest wild card you guys are going to see this chase. How do you feel about going out there and what the game plan is going to be?
The game plan is I'm just going to treat it just like how I do any other super speedway race. I'm going to go to the front. I'm going to try and lead as many laps as humanly possible. I kind of base my super speedway racing the same way that Dale Jr. used to do his, and that's just go up front and try and be in that top 2 lanes, that top 2 lines, and try to lead as many laps as we can. I think that's going to be our best shot. I've watched a lot of the super speedway, after party races that they do, and Jeff gets really aggressive, and he's even said so himself that he's aggressive. So I'm hoping maybe that kind of comes into effect, and hopefully there's some attrition next week. Hopefully we have a lot more cars show up than we did tonight. 20 is still a good field, but I'd like to see a big field out there next week. I think it just stay clean, try and stay at the front, lead as many laps as we can, just be there at the end, and hope that we can gain a lot of points. Super speedway racing is for some reason, my best type of racing that I can do other than road course racing. So I think that's going to be the goal. I'm sorry, I'm out of breath and trying to catch my breath, but
You're all good, brother. Well, again, we appreciate your time, but before I let you go, is there anybody you want to give a shout out to as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I want to thank Red Camel Racing. Check them out at redcamelracing.com. They have workwear and all kinds of motorsport wear, fire suits, helmets, shoes. So go check them out at redcamelracing.com. Harpoondesign.com. Brantley does a lot of really hard work, making a lot of beautiful schemes. He's got, I think, well over, what was it, like 200 schemes or 2,000? I can't remember. It was like either 200 or 2,000. I can't even remember now. But he's got a lot of schemes, either real life or custom work. You know, he made the beautiful scheme that I ran tonight. I was supposed to be back in my orange one, but I forgot to change it. Reaper Speed Lab, go check them out at reaperspeedlab.com. That is an amazing place to go get setups. They win a lot of races. The results always show. Everybody over there does a lot of really hard work. I want to thank All the Driven Motorsports, my teammate Mark, who I beat right there at the end. What a hell of a run through that 3 and 4 section to get to him. Like I said, Roger for being a big help tonight and him coming on board. Can't thank him enough. Brantley, he was also in the chat, which we already thanked him. You guys for putting on an awesome broadcast each and every week. Bradley, I know you haven't said anything yet, but I absolutely love how hard you work on the broadcast. We can't appreciate you enough. And admins for working really hard, and all the drivers for putting on, I think, one of the best races other than, I think, Michigan.
I appreciate that, guy.
Not a problem, brother. I love seeing it. I love going back and watching every week. Family loves tuning in every week and watching, so I can't thank you guys enough.
Well, we appreciate your time, Joseph. Appreciate your family watching, man. Well, we'll hopefully catch you next week again here at Talladega, man. Have a good one.
Thanks, brother. I hope so.
I appreciate it.
There's your third place finisher here tonight. Joseph McWhorter in the 73, and that was a great show there to finish this thing off. We watched these guys battle 3 wide, 4 wide at some point here in this last restart. But you've caught up with one more driver down here on pit road, and that is the 35 of Joshua Banks.
That is Joshua Banks. You got a copy, buddy?
I got you, man. We're still living.
I bet you guys are winded after that battle, man. These guys were absolutely digging, wheeling and dealing the entire run. You come home second, seem to be chasing down Jeff Wright, man. Is there anything you think you could have had for that 48 car?
I just needed more, maybe a couple more laps, but then I was pushing the car hard, so it probably wore the tires out real bad. But I needed to be closer for sure. And we're like at the restart and being behind Cabot kind of put that behind, because the restart I timed it really good, but Cabot kind of backed up a little bit, and I had to lift, and that caused me to lose a little time. And Jeff was able to get around to Eddie like around turn 2 on the restart, so he was gone, and then just trying to run him. That was a hard thing to do, man. Jeff's a great racer, we know that, and to be able to try to run him down is a difficult task, and we were doing it. It just needed to be closer sooner and maybe a couple more laps.
For sure, and now I think you're in the chase, to my knowledge. So you gain a lot of points there, getting second. Obviously, that's a big help for the standings and all that. Now I got to ask you, next week. Actually, I'd tell you you're not in the chase, but I mean, so pretty much next week's kind of go out there, have fun. He's new, okay. I haven't paid attention as much as I should here, but
Understandable.
Next week, you're going to be at Talladega, so obviously we know the craziness that can happen. Obviously, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be wild, especially with these group of drivers. How do you feel about going out there and trying to get that win?
I mean, Daytona, we got second, and that was a real close race. So if we can keep that confidence going and try to keep it going into Talladega, that'd be nice. I mean, I know Bill and I work really well there, and I think he and I can really work good and stay up front, or at least, get good strategies to put us up front and get us a chance for the win.
For sure, man. Well, I appreciate your time. Before I let you go, is there anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Oh, man, we got to shout out the boys we were racing with, man. Jeff Wright, Adam Cabot, everybody up front, man. I wasn't really doing much of the slide jobbing as much as those two, but to be behind them and be in contention was really cool. And just having an opportunity to be up there racing with them was fun, and it was tough. I mean, I knew I was racing with some good guys, so shout out to them for some awesome racing. AJ as well, because we were racing for 4th and 3rd a little bit, so that was good racing with him. But shout out to those guys. Shout out to you guys up in the booth. I can't wait to watch the broadcast. It's gonna be fun to watch. And then of course the admins putting on this league. Very fun. Love this car. Great combo with this track and car combo. Loved it to death. And got to shout out to those guys for doing an awesome job putting this league together.
Well, we appreciate your time there, Mr. Banks. Again, congratulations on the second place finish. And we'll talk to you hopefully next week out at Talladega.
All right, buddy. Appreciate it.
I appreciate you, Josh. That's Joshua Banks, your second place finisher. And I believe old Bradley has caught up with the race winner himself, Jeff Wright.
I have. I'm down here in Victory Lane with the 48 of Jeff Wright, who held off a hornet's nest all night long. The multiple lines, the different strategies, and that final restart where you had Eddie Trejo taking 2 tires. And I got to ask right out the bat, because you guys were in Discord together, Eddie played a lot of defense. Was that all kind of planned a little bit?
You know, it wasn't planned in the sense of him taking 2 tires, and it wasn't planned in the sense of me losing a spot on pit road. I thought I had a really good pit entry and a really good pit exit, and Adam still somehow beat me off the pit road there to get the lead. But then we saw the car took 2 tires, so that put me on the bottom third. And so, I mean, Eddie was friendly with me. He told me he was going to give me a little heads up, and I know the outside wasn't good at all tonight for restarts, at least for me. I restarted, I think, once on the outside and lost probably 2 or 3 car lengths on Adam when he took off. So we definitely lucked out in that sense, and yeah, I was able to get around him, but no games in terms of like Eddie trying to hold up Adam or anything like that going into turn 1. He just said that he was extremely loose and he was just hanging on for dear life. And I think even Adam goes a little bit caught off guard how much slower he was on those 2 tires. So, but yeah, it definitely helped us out, helped us get the lead, and thankfully there wasn't another restart after that, so we could bring home the victory tonight.
Yeah, I guess I asked that question for the TV ratings, but if we're being completely honest, you had a very competitive car. We watched 3 wide between you, Cabot, Banks. I believe Josh Banks was actually complimenting the drive that you guys had here tonight, and felt that it was so cool to watch you guys pulling slide jobs there in the first half of this race.
Yeah, it was crazy, definitely. You know, especially all the back and forth we had tonight. You know, there's a lot of times when you're in cars where once you get the lead, the leader kind of just takes off and tails off into the sunset, if you will, to clean air. But we really didn't have that tonight. When I had the lead, I really wasn't able to pull away. When Adam grabbed the lead, he didn't really pull away until that one. I think we were battling 3 wide for second for a while. So then he kind of started pulling away. But yeah, you could drive this car really, really hard tonight, and it seemed like you didn't pay an incredible too big of a price on tire fall off. So I mean, it was all over the place. I mean, guys were pulling crazy moves.
Jeff,
bottom to the top.
I think the tires just fell off, man. I think they just fell off, and they were what they were, right?
I mean, they were. I mean, and you have to drive this car really hard too, I feel like, to keep it, keep the pace. If you're driving in there, not giving it, 100%, guys behind you are going to make moves on you. So, but we were giving 100% tonight, and there was a couple close calls. Adam, we keep talking about how one of these times, all the close racing we've been doing, one of us is going to get, dumped, and we're going to be upset. But we've gone so long, or so many times, I guess, just battling guys extremely hard. Me and Adam had some great battles, but throw Joshua Banks in there tonight. We battling 3 wide for the lead. Chad Klinger, I believe, was up there battling 3 wide for the lead a couple times. So just a wild race, and just super happy that we're not only able to win the race, but come out and not have a wrecked race car, because there's some close calls tonight for sure.
And actually, joining us down here in Victory Lane is Adam Cabot, and he followed up. He just mentioned how you guys battling for that long and not wrecking each other. Adam, how intense was that battle?
Jeff and I were just talking about this. It was so intense. I mean, I feel like I've said this, we've both said this multiple times. It seems like we keep just one-upping the last experience, but that was some of the most fun I've ever had in iRacing in 10 plus years. I guess it's more like 13 years at this point, but oh my gosh. I mean, we just, we really trust each other. We push each other to the absolute limit. I mean, Jeff is just so good at this and pushes me to try to get better and try to find every ounce of speed. And that's why I, tried a little bit too hard at times tonight and put myself in the wall and made some mistakes. And I'm definitely processing simultaneous emotions, because on one hand, I choked this race away twice. I feel like one by just somehow having the lead on a restart and managing to fall back to 5th, a few restarts to go. I still don't even know how that happened, but work my way out from that and somehow got back in position to win again. I thought beating Jeff out of pit road and just did not pick the right lane. I tried diving low behind Eddie, and he just did not have the speed that I thought he was going to have on those 2 tires. And I still had a chance after that, but just man, these cars. I was trying to be so aware of the right rear sticking out on these cars because it still just catches me off guard since I don't really race this car that often, and it got me at the end. It just grabbed the wall going into one when I was in second behind Jeff, and it sucked me in, and that was pretty much it. So on the one hand, so bummed out that I choked that one away there, but at the same time, you can't wipe the smile off my face because that was just so much fun. Racing with Jeff there, Banks as well. Just showing up in the middle of that battle, making it 3 wide for a bit. So just so much fun. It always is racing this league. But I wish I came out on top. But when you race someone as good as Jeff Wright, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. So big congrats to him. And I just can't wait for the next 1.5 miles on this schedule.
Well, with that note, Jeff, I know that you're running a great league here. You had 21 cars out here tonight to start off the chase, and you're sitting pretty in the points now with this win. Do you have anybody?
I think you lost him.
I lost him. He came back. There he came back. Jeff, you left me.
I got pulled by another admin, Bradley.
Chad Klinger is fired.
But we're back. We're back.
Jeff, we were just talking about the intense battles, the great racing that we watched. I know you're putting together a great league here. Do you have anybody? I know you do. You got a lot of people backing you. You got people pulling you out of the Discord. So go ahead and shout them out if you got them.
Probably.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of really, a ton of people to thank for this league for sure. But before we move on to the thanking the people, I just wanted to let you know that me and Adam, we get to do this again Tuesday night at Chicagoland Speedway. So, and that's good. We're going to be right here on V Speed, right here, Bradley. It's going to be right here on V Speed. So, different car combo though. I told Adam I probably might not be up to his caliber in that car, but I am looking forward to it. So we get to race Chicagoland here once more here before we move on. But in terms of the people to thank, just thank everybody coming out tonight that participates in these events, all the league admins, that continue to put these on so that, we can come out race here Saturday night. The broadcast team, as always, I hope you guys had fun tonight. I would think you did because of the battles were so crazy. So big thanks to you guys up at the broadcast booth as always. I know I'm really looking forward to going back and watching this race. I think Adam is probably as well. And then all the sponsors too that put this on: Harpoon Design, Walk and Rollin', Tractor USA, for donating, and all the individuals too that have donated as well. So we have a lot of generous people, a lot of generous league members in this league that have donated money to make these things happen, because it takes money to run these things, and without their support, it wouldn't be possible. So just really thankful for everybody involved.
We're thankful for you guys as well, and we appreciate your time. Adam Cabot, Jeff Wright, congratulations, guys, on running a successful season and a great start to the chase. I hope to hear from you next week, both of you, back up here in the broadcast booth. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, Bradley. And real quick, I want to apologize to Chad and anyone else who got caught up in that restart incident. I just kind of complete brain fart moment and had the car off.
I
so that was
all about that.
I know. I forgot about it too. And
let's talk about that real quick.
So that's I don't know. I'm just bringing myself back down here, but that was pretty bad. So I apologize to anyone who got caught up in that. I tried to, even though I was racing hard tonight, I tried to take care of the chase guys. So I really hate that happened to Chad and anyone else there. But it won't happen again. I guess
that's actually why Jeff got pulled down there by Chad. I think he was saying we got to get that 17 out of here. He doesn't even know the power button.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, I don't blame him at this point.
But no, I think everything's good. Mistakes were made. It happens, and so we had no explanation. Actually, Alec called it right off the spot. He said it sounded like that car wasn't turned on, wasn't fired.
It turns out when the car's off, it's really hard to go anywhere. So learn that tonight.
It's unfortunate, but hey, I appreciate you guys. I really do. Putting V Speed on the map. We've worked with you guys. We've worked with quite a few leagues, but the racing here tonight, the ratings through the roof. I got chills several different times here tonight, and I know Alec was losing his mind.
Alec, how'd you like that race?
I thought it was pretty dang good. Y'all put on a show. I love it. These cars are awesome to watch.
we were talking just in the broadcast waiting room before we hopped up here, and we were trying to find that lap where we were 3 wide for the lead, and Joshua Banks told us it was lap 100. So we were saying that we're excited to go back and we're gonna listen to Alec Martinez call that. So we're looking forward to that for sure.
Let him cook. I just let him cook the whole time, and it worked.
Appreciate letting me cook.
It sounded great. But appreciate you guys. Congratulations on the win, Jeff Wright, and we'll see you next week at
Yeah,
Talladega.
we'll see you guys at Talladega. Should be a fun one. Thanks again, guys.
Yeah, have a good one, Jeff.
Thank you,
Congrats.
guys. Thank you.
So there was a rather unusual interview. Adam Cabot coming down, crashing the party. But yeah, it was a great race. And
Yeah, it was.
We loved every second of it. I hope you
really
guys enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was
Everybody
really
out there
fun.
watching.
I enjoyed that. That was a good race. Let's look through our final results here. Jeff Wright, obviously, your winner here tonight, gets his sixth win of the season. In second, Joshua Banks. Third, Joseph McOrder. Fourth, Mark Whitley. Fifth, Adam Cabot. Sixth, AJ Stravado. Getting the edge here on Jonathan Cadell, who finished seventh. Chad Klinger, up and down day, comes home eighth. Max Cost, how about that, getting top 10 in ninth. And Caleb Weekly in 10th.
11th spot will be Brandon Wallace. How about that? I think that's probably the highest finish here for the 99 this season. Eddie Trejo with the 2 tires falls back to 12th, held on for dear life. 13th will be Mark McFadden. Happy birthday to the 71, turning 75. Ryan Carwile with all that damage there in that second to last restart, or I believe, yeah, Carwile gets tagged, gets some damage in the 81, kind of out of contention. The 05 of I always struggle with his name, Konovich, I believe is the correct pronunciation. Going to come home with
Konovich.
15th, Konovich, and we've got Ray Massey in 16th. Jonathan Cofield, unfortunately, here tonight in 17th position. Michael Sturgill with a ton of damage there in that first caution, running into the side of what I believe was Alex Bell. He's going to bring it home in the 18th position. Gary Smith, 19th. Chuck Sweeting with an early retirement here tonight in 20th. And rounding out your 21-car field, the first car to pull it off the track was Alex Bell after getting hit multiple times down there in the grass. Well, that was a good one.
What a race. What a race.
What a race. If you enjoyed this action here on V-Speed, make sure you hit all the buttons down below this video that you're currently watching. Click everything. We love watching Saturday Night Racing League. We don't want you to miss a single race as we bring you Talladega next week. Until then, for everybody at V-Speed, from Adam Baker, Alec Martinez, Connor Horn, who wasn't here tonight, Eddie Smith, our other producer, and everyone in between, this is Bradley Cooper signing off on V-Speed. Have a great rest of your weekend, and take care, everybody.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
And here comes Milo. Big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Mr. Marty's there. Cannot count out to 37.
Oh!
Milo gets burned!
Cabot, where did he come from?
Here
comes Zwack.